Hi guys. Alrighty, let's get this situated. Hi everyone. Happy May 4th and welcome to MessageGears, a Better Blueprint Experience webinar. We wanted to call it May the Blueprint Be With You, but we thought it may be too out of this world. Without further ado, we can introduce ourselves. My name is Danielle Briner and I'm the Product Marketing Manager here at MessageGears, and I'll let Ricky introduce himself.
Yeah, and I'm Ricky Timbers. I'm a senior product manager here at MessageGears. Unfortunately, I don't have very good puns. Danielle, what's the name of your little fur baby there? I actually don't know.
Oh yes, this is Annabelle. She is currently being a very good coworker, sleeping at my feet. I hope everyone who has a dog today also brought theirs to their office. I know Penny misses you.
Yes, absolutely.
Alrighty, so let's get this party started. We are going to dive into some segmentation tools today. Then we're going to pop into MessageGears Segment and see how we're disrupting the segmentation space. But the reason that you're all here is to see what's new. We're super excited to share our product enhancements with you all and to introduce a totally new addition to MessageGears Segment. Spoiler alert, you will run, not walk to start using this. Then my awesome counterpart, Ricky Timbers, is going to walk us through a real life use case on how you can use all of these awesome features in MessageGears Segment. And at the end, sadly, we will have to part ways, but you're always welcome to give us a shout out on social media or through our website. And of course, if you have any questions or comments throughout the webinar, we will be answering those live. So let's get moving. Segmentation tools. What is everyone using today? Go ahead and send us a message. If you're using MessageGears Segment, give us a shout out and tell us how much you love it. Or if you're using another solution and want to make the switch, let us know too. Ricky, what makes MessageGears Segment different from other audience builders in the space?
Sure. So MessageGears Segment, we put a huge focus on user experience, and we're always trying to refine that to make it as simple as possible and as quickly as possible to flush out your segments of your audience. That, and then coupled with the MessageGears core differentiator of being with your data, reduces any need for data friction, having to copy your data from place A to place B, pay for separate storage. We just work with your data where your data is.
Okay, cool. While you were explaining, I was checking out some of our comments here from our guests. Thank you so much for tuning in. Looks like we have a lot of MessageGears customers and some new guests looking to make the switch, so welcome. We're so glad you're all here. All right, woo woo, we have a poll coming up here. For you new guests, what is tough about your segmentation solution today? Do you find yourself having a hard time prioritizing and organizing your target nodes when organizing your audience? Or you maybe have a Frankenstein solution that makes you copy your data to multiple places, or just tools that you bought and do not work together well. Or number 3, slow data iteration that takes hours. Or number 4, my favorite option. By the way, I'm going to launch the poll here for you guys so you can choose while I'm telling you what's going on. Making unrecoverable mistakes. That is my favorite. I have definitely messed up a blueprint or two in my day, and we have a new feature that is just going to make your lives so much easier. So we're going to let you guys finish these poll results here. 50% of you have voted. Let's bring it to 100 people. We love some guest engagement. All right. Wow, we are definitely edging towards slow data iteration takes hours, but we have a ton of hate for copying your data to multiple places. All right, I'm going to close the poll here. All right, tons of mixed reviews. Would you guys believe me if I said none of these issues persisted in MessageGears today? None of them. It's true. Ricky, how does MessageGears get around copying data when every other tool requires it?
Right. So MessageGears leverages our hybrid architecture, right? So a core piece of MessageGears is the accelerator platform, which is what I'll be demoing today. And that actually lives behind your firewall with your data in your environment. You have total control over that. And since MessageGears lives with your data, it reduces any need to move your data really anywhere else.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so now that we're all acquainted, let's dive in here. As Ricky has alluded to, it's important for our users of MessageGears to have the easiest and fastest experiences when creating your audiences and reaching them with your real-time data. So we've kept all of those things in mind when working on our new initiatives. We are here to make sure that you can focus on what matters most, which is your real-time data causing a real-time impact. So flexible blueprint design, what does that mean? Segmentation tools today that you may or may not be using are rigid, cumbersome, and straight up difficult to use. Not to mention they're requiring that copy of data, causing you slow data iteration. But with MessageGears, we have a simple drag and drop interface that allows you to move, add, undo, organize, target nodes of your audience, all working with that real-time data, no copying needed, and at a faster pace than you have before. Check out that happy team down there on the right, by the way. That is live footage of someone using MessageGears. Ricky, all right, we have a question coming in here for you. If someone is using Salesforce or Adobe Experience Manager, can they integrate, or can MessageGears integrate with tools like that for them?
Yeah, absolutely. So through MessageGears Segment, you're able to integrate with really any third-party provider. Salesforce, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Airship. Those are just the quick ones I can think of, but that's a growing list every day.
Awesome. So, ready to see the spoiler alert from before? MessageGears FastCash. What is that? FastCash is a part of MessageGears segment that allows you to work with massive audiences and make small edits to your blueprint, or large edits really, within seconds. This can make your segmentation time up to 10 times faster than before. And Ricky's going to tell us about it a lot in our demo. But Ricky, do you want to give a TLDR really fast on FastCash?
Yeah, sure. So FastCache just takes what MessageGears already does today, right? Interacts with your data for things like launching a campaign, doing a preview, anytime we're extracting data, and separates that out from what a marketer trying to build a blueprint is trying to do, right? You just want a representation of your data for rapid iteration on those blueprints and giving you that quick feedback. So I'll go into more detail during the demo, but that's definitely the quick TLDR.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome because we had a ton of guests who had issues with slow data iteration. So you guys will absolutely love this. So while you're getting ready to share your screen here for the demo, Ricky, can we dive into a little bit what we're going to walk through today with our mock client, City and Glory?
Yeah, absolutely. So with City and Glory, what we're going to show you is how to get up and running on, we'll just say like a re-engagement campaign, and then through a blueprint, and then take that exact same blueprint, completely pivot it for something very different. We'll do a seasonal summer promotion, right? I know here in Atlanta, it definitely does not feel like a good summer right now with all this weather we're getting, but in preparation, thinking about like 4th of July and things like that.
Yes, May showers bring June flowers. I'm going to repurpose that phrase. I'm known for totally messing up phrases, so that one's on me. Alrighty, let's switch screens here so you can show the people the magic.
Absolutely.
Oops. Sharing, here we go. Perfect.
All right. Can you throw me the screen share?
Mm-hmm.
Just 1 second, guys.
Change presenter. There we go.
Awesome. Let's get started here. So we'll go ahead and get this going. So here we go. All right, so this is just your basic blueprint list page, right? So this is a list of all the blueprints that we currently have in this platform. What we're going to do is just create a new one. We'll call this City and Glory Engagement. And we'll start with an empty query. We'll create the blueprint. So to avoid you guys watching me type some SQL, I'm just going to quickly paste this SQL statement here. One last quick settings thing. I'll just click refresh, click yes, in about 1 second. There we go. Now we have all the columns that we can work with for our blueprint. So just like that, we're up and running with the blueprint, and we'll switch over here and we start with just the empty canvas with the population. So the last thing I'm going to do before I get started is you guys see this FastCash widget. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the cache. So what this is doing is this is actually executing the query since this is brand new, right? There's nothing to go off, and it's building the cache. And we'll come back to this in a little bit and talk a little bit more detail about what it's doing. So with a blueprint, right, I'm able to create segments of my audience. And the other really cool thing that we can do in MessageGears is you can add labels. So what a label is, and we'll just do a simple one, we'll call it segment ID. What a label is this an attribute that we're able to add to your recipient after extraction, right? So you have your data, your base audience table is running through this blueprint, this set of rules, and as it's going, we're building up labels that you can use in things like targeting, template personalization, really whatever you want.
Ricky,
So
one second, is there a limit on how many labels I can add in my blueprint here?
Sure, no, you can have as many blueprints or like in the system as you want, or as many labels in a given blueprint. There's absolutely no limit to what you can do with that. So the first thing we want to do is identify the people that have made a purchase. So we'll go ahead and create a target group. It'll be called made purchase. We'll add a segment that's the made purchase segment. We'll find the column that we're using here, first purchase made, great, equals, and I know this is 1 if they've actually made a purchase. So just like that, I set up the purchase segment. Now what I want to do is actually modify the label based on that. So we'll use segment ID, we'll add segment, and we'll say that if you've made a purchase, we'll just add a P to your label, right? So great. We'll add that to the blueprint. And you notice when I created that node, it automatically created this everything else node. That everything else is just the negative scenario. So anyone who didn't match one of your segments is gonna pop over here. So we know this is people that have made a purchase with us. So this is going to be no purchase, right? And we'll do the same thing. We'll modify the label, but for this one, we'll do NP for no purchase, right? So great. So now that I got that going, I just want to do a quick check of make sure all my data looks right. So preview the blueprint, and this will take just a second here. Fantastic. So I can see these results here. These are all the results from my query, right? This is my live data. Everything here looks great. We have a ton of attributes to play with, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. But all the way on the end here, this column in yellow, the segment ID, that's that label I just added. And you can see there's a bunch of Ps and NPs, and those are the users that actually made purchases or have not made a purchase. So fantastic, that looks great. Now I want to continue on with my blueprint. So the next thing I want to segment by is they've made a purchase. So now I want to segment that by loyalty level. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a new target group node. We'll call it loyalty level. Our base loyalty is silver.
We had a quick question, actually, a live question here. Is your demo running in BigQuery, and what databases does this work with? And while you're creating this one and answering that, we can pop over to the big segment that we've created for our campaign after we've shown our guests, how great this looks.
Yeah, sure.
I know that's a mouthful, but I want to make sure our guests have their questions answered.
Absolutely. So let's rewind that about 45 seconds here. So the database I'm using, yes, that is BigQuery. So we are leveraging BigQuery right now for this particular blueprint. You can use blueprints with any database. Same with MessageGears, right? Whether that's BigQuery, Snowflake, Redshift, SQL, Hive, really whatever. And if your database is not on our current list of supported databases, it's really easy for us to get up and running with that. Awesome. I think I got all that, Danielle. Let me know if I skipped a question.
You did. No, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no limit on how much data you can bring in, right?
No, absolutely not. As much as you want, the more the merrier.
Cool.
Okay, so since you're going to ruin my fun here, I'll go over to the blueprint and its finished statement. So a couple things here, right? So you can see this blueprint, it's a little more complex. You have the made purchase, we have the loyalty level, and to show you guys what I was going to do before Danielle interrupted me, was to actually show, we can use this new feature, quick view, and that's actually showing what segments I was going to create. So platinum, gold, silver, diamond. We have the counts, we have the targeting criteria I was using with the label, so on and so forth. But now, so let's fast forward a few months, right? This re-engagement campaign was fantastic. It's now summer. I just want to take this blueprint and use this exact same blueprint that was already there and quickly pivot the structure to actually give us that seasonal promotion we're looking for. So our goal is that we want to target this outdoor segment, right? We want to encourage people to buy patio furniture. It's barbecue season. We want that to happen. But I also realized that based on my last campaign, I actually don't like my segment flowing from made purchase to loyalty level to recent purchase. So I want to change that. So let's go ahead and get started in dissecting this blueprint here. So we're not targeting re-engagement, so we can go ahead and just delete this node. And then we're going to show what we can do now with the new feature that we added to Blueprints called a toolbar. So I'll go to recent purchase, and you see we have this new toolbar with these logos, right? And each of these gives us a different piece of functionality. We can move, we can add a neighbor. So if I just want to add a new node to the right of this, and we can shift left and shift right. And we'll go through like what each of these do. But for now, I want to focus on move, right? Because I want that recent purchase segment to be earlier. So we'll go ahead and move it. We'll enter what's called move mode, real original naming, but we'll go ahead and move recent purchase under made purchase. So now we're just changing the structure of our blueprint. The next thing I want to do,
when you're moving that node, what does it do? Will it recount on its own, or do you have to initiate that recount?
You do have to initiate the recount, and that's where FastCash comes into being a huge piece. And I'll show you what that's like in just a second here. So the next thing I want to do is move the children over to loyalty level. So I mean, you can see how quickly I'm doing this. It's like 1-2 clicks each time. And then lastly, I'll bring loyalty level under recent purchase. So just like that, completely changed the dynamic of my blueprint. And now I want to do it
super fast.
I know. now I want to do a recount. So before, what we would do is we had the count button. For those of you that are MessageGears customers, you're aware it was up here. You would click that. We would run the query. We would get the results. We would run the results through the blueprint. This is where FastCash comes into play, right? So you can see here, we have a cache, we have 1.9 million recipients, and this took about 5.5 minutes, right? Which is pretty slow. Like maybe the data was a little messed up, the query wasn't written properly, whatever. But the important part is now that we have this data as a marketer, and I don't have to worry about that. So what I can do is actually just click this recount button. And what this button is doing is just recounting against the FastCache and actually giving us, is allowing us to avoid this 5-minute and 30-second piece and actually bringing that time down to, what was that, 15 seconds? So just like that, and you can see, you look at all the nodes I changed. These are all empty after I restructure, but now we have the count here. And that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? Giving myself that rapid feedback. So if you're in... Yeah.
Can I interrupt you one more time?
Sure.
So where is this data in FastCache going? Where exactly is it stored? How are we doing that?
Absolutely. So FastCache is stored, again, still in your environment, right? So we leverage like a cloud resource you have, and we'll put it there. So it's still fully in your control of, how much data you want to store, how frequently you want to update that, everything. It's still entirely in your control.
Awesome. Does it cost extra money to have FastCache, or is it included in MessageGears Segment?
Absolutely not. If you're a MessageGears Segment customer, you just get this. And FastCache itself is optional, right? We still do provide the old way if this is something that you don't want to go for, but I don't see why you would ever want to do that. So the last thing I want to talk about in terms of the restructuring here is I mentioned this was a seasonal campaign. So we really want to focus on this outdoor segment. So I'm going to utilize the shift button here, right? So we're going to shift to the left here. And the reason this is really important is MessageGears blueprints are validated, are evaluated from top down, left to right. So what that means is as you're flowing through this diagram, once you qualify for outdoor down here, you're in that segment, right? And so we're not going to evaluate you for living room, kitchen, bedroom, or any of that. So that's really important because it allows you to prioritize what segments a customer might fall into, right? So if I want a living room to be first, I'll just go ahead and move that over. But like I said, this is the outdoor campaign, right? This is a seasonal campaign. So Danielle, I know this is probably your favorite feature here. We do have an undo button, right? So I put living room first on accident. I can go ahead and click undo. Outdoor is going to go back. So what undo does is it actually stores your in-session changes. So while I'm on this screen iterating on it, if I make a change that I didn't mean to or delete something I didn't want to, it gives me an opportunity to recover that change. So it's super useful.
Is there like
Appreciate it.
a limit on how many undos you can get? Or yeah.
So right now it's set to, I believe, 15 changes. So I could just keep clicking undo if I wanted.
So that'll definitely
But
cover everyone but me. So perfect.
yeah, pretty much. But it gives you plenty of time to revert back to whatever mistake you made, which hopefully you noticed that, relatively quickly.
We had
So
one more question coming in before we get to the launch about FastCash. It says, where so specifically is the data in FastCash? Do I have the ability to increase my accelerator memory?
yeah, so you always have the ability to increase your environment memory, right? Like where Accelerator is hosted. FastCash specifically is going to live in a cloud data store, whether that's S3 or GCS. It'll be in a file structure there. So anything that we store is completely controlled by that bucket's retention policy. So you can store as much cache data as you want or as little.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And they also control how fast it goes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. So Dan, you mentioned you wanted to actually launch this. So
Yeah,
what we're
I would
going to do
love to
is,
launch this campaign.
so what we're going to do is we're going to activate this. We'll do it on Facebook. And I believe you said blueprints were out of this world. So that's what we'll name our campaign.
Absolutely out of this world.
May the blueprint be with you. There we go. Let me go ahead and create this real fast. After I add a destination, that would make perfect sense. Thank you, validation. So we'll do Facebook. We'll go ahead and do an app ID, my favorite app ID, 1234, done. And then we'll call May the 4th be with you. There we go. Perfect. So let me create this. And then let's check our blueprint here, make sure everything looks good. Okay, fantastic. I have the blueprint, but I only want to export to this outdoor segment. So I'll go ahead and check that. Yeah,
Perfect. What I'm hearing is that I'm going to be targeted on Facebook to buy some more patio furniture, which is exactly what I need.
Absolutely. So there you go. So just like that, we created, like I said, we took that blueprint, we repurposed it, and then we exported it to Facebook, just like that.
Awesome. Great. So we will switch back here.
Yep. Absolutely.
And now that you've sent off that awesome City and Glory audience to Facebook, we're going to check out where else we can activate our audiences. Right here. So looking like Google Ads, Twitter, Facebook, LiveRamp, Airship. If you want to integrate with MessageGears, any third party really, you can seamlessly connect. Ricky, how does MessageGears integrate with all of these options so easily?
Yeah, sure. So again, just since MessageGears can exist with your data, right, it's very easy for us to just control adding these new providers that you can activate on. And, like I said, there's always new ones coming down the pipe. So just always stay tuned because this list is constantly growing.
Yeah, and the full list is on our website on our pages, so you guys are also welcome to check that out. This has been super great. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to send them in the chat, and we will follow up with you after the webinar. I know I've had an excellent time sharing with you guys. How about you, Ricky?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love getting a show of blueprints. So.
Yes. Well, if you guys want to learn more or just reach out to us and give us a shout for saving you a ton of money and time. I'm just really excited about how great MessageGears is. Also, I think there may be a storm, so we can blame all of that on my internet. We would love to hear from you. All right, one more question. Looks like, just because the fans were excited about my excitement. How long does it take to install or stand up Segment? Ooh, I love this question.
Do you want to answer it then?
No. I know it is very quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So if you have the Accelerator application it already installed, I don't know, takes a second. If you have if you are installing the Accelerator application, we can typically get you up and running in like a day.
Awesome. Cool, perfect. Well, thank you all so much again, and may the 4th be with you. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.